Sue Gray, the person who risks becoming a distraction, the civil servant who could bring down a government with a single report and who has raised eyebrows almost since that date. She did it with Boris, and now Keir Starmer's team has felt her icy touch. If there's a kiss of death, the kiss of the Spider-Woman in British politics, surely Sue Gray is its carrier, shuffling into Downing Street, only to shuffle out again behind chaos that she leaves in her wake, scandal and rather awkward press statements. You have to admire her consistency. In the post-Partygate era, Sue Gray's report became a battering ram, knocking Boris Johnson appropriately off his perch, and here we are, with Labour less than 100 days into government, and it seems Sue has done it again, this time from the inside. It's like Trojan horse. It's like hiring a fox to guard the hen house and then being surprised when there are feathers everywhere. Starmer, that great legal mind, clearly thought Sue Gray would be the bulldozer to plough through Whitehall's thick layers of bureaucracy. Instead, he ended up getting bulldozed by his own hire. The irony is sort of delicious, isn't it? And the press are already asking, has Sir Keir made a Boris-like blunder in hiring Sue Gray, only to lose her to distraction after a mere months? 3 months. 3 months. 3 little months. It's like Hamlet, isn't it? The Labour Party, it seems, has a curious knack for snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, and Sue Gray may be the embodiment, the icon of that talent. One can't help but draw comparisons to that other failed Prime Minister, Theresa May. The collapse of Theresa May after her 2 advisers, Nick Timothy and Fiona Hill, both unceremoniously quit following the disastrous 2017 election. May, once steely and strong and stable, all those S's, was left adrift without her closest allies, stumbling towards the inevitable cliff edge, uncertain, unsure, unclear. Brexit means Brexit. Starmer must now be wondering whether Gray's departure leaves him in similar waters, rudderless and surrounded by rival factions within his own team. After all, Morgan McSweeney, her successor, wasn't exactly her best mate, was he? Then there's the salary, a cheeky 170,000. 3 grand more than Starmer himself. Nothing says I'm indispensable, quite like earning more than the Prime Minister. Well, there's one way to ensure people notice your departure. As a point of comparison, perhaps Starmer should take solace in the fact that Alistair Campbell, Tony Blair's trusted spin doctor, earned a hefty sum too before he departed in a firestorm of controversy post-Iraq. Advisers with such salaries rarely leave quietly or without some collateral damage. It's all a bit Shakespearean, isn't it? The trusted adviser becomes the tragic flaw, and the hero, in this case a much lawyerly version of Hamlet, watches the centre of his government unravel. Sue Gray, the omnipresent spectre of British bureaucracy, may well haunt Starmer now, just as she haunted Johnson, the kiss of death indeed. As for Starmer's future, let's hope he's got more resilience than Theresa May. The Conservatives, ever the opportunists, are already sharpening their knives, and their line of attack is clear. Look at Labour, unable to keep their own house in order in fewer than 100 days. Of course, that's rich coming from a party that can't seem to keep a leader for more than 5 minutes. But you know how the political game goes. If there's mud to fling, someone will fling it. Sue Gray may be gone, but her shadow looms large like some Dickensian spectre from, Scrooge. Starmer's team will try to reset the agendum again, but will it work, or will the ghost of Sue Gray, past, present and future, continue to hover over the party, over the government, like a particularly unhelpful civil service memo flapping in print? Time will tell, but if I were Keir and I had the choice of somebody to hire again, I think I would be particularly cautious of hiring anybody who might have had an association, even marginally, because marginalia is very important, even marginally with Theresa May, Boris Johnson, Liz Truss. I think I might be cautious about anybody who might have had a link with Gordon Brown or Tony Blair. I think Keir Starmer needs to find somebody who has a clean slate a blank sheet on which he can scribble his own ideas. But do such blank sheets actually exist, or is every sheet stained? I know some of the sofas around Downing Street have been slightly soiled. But can Keir Starmer find an unsoiled ex-civil servant to helm his vision of what Britain could be?